Have you ever wanted to look sexy? How sexy? How about your crush comes in and sees you play World of Warcraft and says, "Ooh, that's such a sexy UI, have my babies." And you're like, "No, I don't want children in my life." And she will be like, "Well, I respect your progressive attitude. Type sexy." Well, check this video out because we have the add-ons for you in 9.15 and going into the next patch as well with everything that you need to get your UI functional and sexy. And the best way to look sexy is with a CurseForge client. The app lets you get all the add-ons you need, especially the ones in this video. CurseForge is also sponsoring this video, and I mean, seriously, we're better to have it on than on an add-ons video, am I right? The app makes publishing and getting add-ons a breeze. One button and your entire list will be updated in a few seconds. Not to mention that add-on creators are supported by the platform at every step, having them paid for their work and making their projects accessible for everyone. CurseForge updates itself almost on a weekly basis with quality of life improvements, bug fixes, and lots of new features. Check the links in the description to get the app on your PC and also have access to all of the add-ons from this video and more. Because we gotta say more here too. As always, we start with the core of your UI. Uber UI does the trick. It makes everything have a black tint, it's relaxing, and has a bunch of customizable options. From griffin removal to changing the textures on the bars, there are a lot of options when it comes to tweaking the things that you wish to look at on a daily basis. Next, to get the numbers and combat text to look like ours, you need any font. Once you have this downloaded, you just need to pick the font you want. For this video, we will use an example, the Pepsi font, but realistically you can do this with any font you wish. See what I did there? Find your ideal font, in this case Pepsi, and that can be found on websites like thefont.com and download it on your computer. If it's an archive, then unpack it and take the TTF file, rename it to font.ttf, and copy-paste it over the font.ttf file already present in the Any Font add-on folder. Restart your game and you should be done. Although we mentioned this in every add-on video, we will do it again. Thread plates is what we use for the general nameplates of mobs and shit. To start making any changes or set it up the way we have it, go to the interface menu, click add-ons, click on thread plates to open the options, click the general tab and go to the health bar view section on the left hand side of the screen. Here you change the look and feel to smooth, set the bar width to 120 and bar height to 23. Next you need to set the cast bar options to match the new dimensions, so go to the cast bar section on the left hand side of the screen, change the bar width to 127 and the height to 14. Then change the tab to the layout one, adjust the health bar view X to be 0 and the Y to be -27. These will align better with your normal health bar settings you just tweaked. Go also to the spell icon tab and change the size of it to 23, adjust the health bar view X to 76 this time, while the Y counterpart will be set to -26. Next up, at the very top of the menu window, click the Widgets tab and scroll on the left hand side to target highlight. For the style, choose the less than arrow, adjust the size of it to 50, tweak the horizontal offset to 8 and leave the vertical offset to 0 and you're done. The next one on the list is Ability Team Tracker. This add-on is the one that shows everyone's cooldowns next to their party frames. First, you will need to go into the game menu, go to Interface and scroll down to Raid Profiles. Check the Use Raid Style Party Frames so they become active during dungeons, and you can tweak profiles here based on how many people in your group you want these to activate for. After this, still in the Interface menu or by typing /ATT, go to the Ability Team Tracker add-on menu. Make sure the Attach to Raid Frames is set to Blizzard UI, check the Hide Anchors option, glow icons, draw borders and show self. I set the scale to match the party frames of the person exactly, while the icon rows is set to 2, rows spacing set on 5 and the icon spacing set to 2. Everything else you can browse by class and spec and check the spells in the list based on what you want to see on your screen. This is helpful if you are a tank or a healer, so you can see the defensives and offensives of your group, plan your pools or your own cooldowns around them more efficiently. Addy bags, although, is what we use for our bags, and currently I am still tweaking with it. Just the default is fine, but you can access the options either by right-clicking somewhere on your bags when they are open or through the interface menu once again. I currently am using the scale to 100%, maximum bag height to 64%, checked the compact layout option, set the backpack to 20, and if you are using expansions additions to it, in case you are farming old content, I have everything unticked so it doesn't create unnecessary amounts of categories in my bags. I also don't have the merge free space option from the item sections on the left hand ticked. I like to manipulate each individual space freely. Next on the list will be add-ons that do not require specific tweaks, or at least we did not set anything up. Install either Deadly Boss mods or the Big Wigs and Little Wigs combo. I personally like Big Wigs and Little Wigs since they are less invasive on my screen. World Quest list is also one we have not given up on. Helps with looking for specific world quests to farm if you are so inclined. Soul Ash Tooltip is an add-on we use to show how much Soul Ash and Cinders we need to upgrade or craft legendaries for each specific rank. Item level is a neat add-on that shows the eye level of your gear without you having to hover your mouse over them. It also shows a more detailed character screen with enchants and such on or missing. Great Vault is another good quality of life add-on where you can check your vault progress on the fly, helpful if you're constantly doing raids, dungeons and PvP on multiple alts, so you don't have to always run to Orbos or use specific macros. Speaking of alts, saved instances is a neat minimap button that opens up a status window showing you what you have done on your alts that week. If you farm different types of content, you can keep track of your alt's progress with this baby. Another quality of life add-on is Scrap (Junk Seller). This one is simple, just sells all the gray items in your bags when you go to a vendor without you having to manually sell or press a button. Domination Rank adds a neat little info to your shards to let you know what rank they have, since these weird ass Blizzard names mean squat for us. What does foreboding even mean, man? Advanced interface options is another good one if you are used to old options that have been taken away by Blizz, or rather hidden, because they are still there, and this add-on enables them for you to tweak your UI even further. And to encompass all of these add-ons, get the MBB or Minimap Button Bag add-on. This is a button on your minimap that keeps all of your minimap button add-ons in one place and cleans the place up a bit, you know? Just a bit of cleanup goes a long way when you have guests. You can tell mom crammed this in my head when I was a kid. Doom_cooldown pulse is what you may have seen on our screens. This flashes abilities that come off cooldown briefly on your screen. You can edit which ones you want or where you want this position by typing in-game /DCP and tweaking with the settings. Focus interrupt sounds is a really good option if you play dungeons a lot and you want to not miss important interrupts. This add-on plays a sound every time your target casts a spell or your focus target casts a spell as well. And lastly, Big Debuffs is more of a PvP add-on but works well in PvE as well. The only main things you change is how you want the size of the dispellable debuffs to show on your party frames. Whatever you can interact with, we make it a bit bigger, while other CC and debuffs a tad smaller. This matters based on what you want to track, so feel free to tweak the ones you are interested in, and this really works with healers when you want to, properly dispel your group. And your UI cannot be complete without proper weak auras. Before we tell you ours, keep in mind that you can find thousands of weak auras on the website wago.io. Simply browse by class and see what interests you, or search by name if you know what you want already. For some of the more often used specs, we use Luxos's weak auras. Whether you get yours from Luxos's wago.io or any other website, you will need to import them in the game. Either copy whatever wall of text you find, or in the case of Luxos, get them from luxos.com website. He has his own thing. He makes class weak auras in packs of 3, so make sure you copy and import each individual one. If you want to adjust the size and position for his stuff, simply select the core one out of the 3 for your class and tweak the size and position, and all of the other ones will adjust accordingly. Similar to Luxos, Ipse makes a lot of weak auras for specs that we use as well. You can find his ones on wago.io. public as well. He makes some really clean and compact weak auras if his style would be something that you would be interested in. And these have been rotational weak auras that track your cooldowns and important buffs and debuffs. There are other options to go for as well. Raidability Timeline is one we recommend for raiding and some Mythic Plus as well. On boss fights, you will see the upcoming mechanics on a timer. This is helpful if you want to track stuff like when ads spawn, when an intermission starts, or any other mechanic that involves you somehow planning your cooldowns, your rotation, or dodging, or popping defensives, stuff like that. Similarly, mostly for M+, the Mythic Plus Interrupt Tracker shows a little representation of whose interrupt is available so you don't stack yours with someone else's. You might have seen on our streams or videos the rotational ability scrolling on the screen, and that is the GCD History Group weak aura that shows what you have already pressed and not what buttons to press next. This one is less required unless you are streaming for people interested in how you play your rotation or recording your gameplay to analyze if you've pressed the right thing at the right time or not. If you are a rogue player, the Shroud weak aura helps you notify the group of how long the Shroud will last for when you pop it so nobody gets out accidentally. A neat one, if you use the Inscrutable Quantum Device trinket, the weak aura with the same name will show its icon on the screen with a description of what effect will pop if you use the trinket in that exact moment. This is good if you are in combat and want to make sure you won't heal people, refund mana, or randomly execute your target. Last but not least, the cursor weak aura puts a circle over your mouse cursor, it does not replace it, and makes it easier if you are in a high octane encounter and you want to click a nameplate to kick or stun, and you cannot find your cursor in all that mess. Although not an actual add-on, the Warcraft logs people together with CurseForge have a desktop companion app you can get to more easily and conveniently log your raids and dungeons on the fly. We mentioned this in a lot of our videos, and you can go to warcraftlogs.com, the website, and follow the step-by-step instructions there to set yours up today. Right now, I should probably be working in sales right now. But you know who's not working in sales? Probably our patrons. Thank you for the support, everybody, and hope you enjoyed this video. We really love doing all kinds of content outside of the normal guides, and with your support, that is possible, and we really appreciate it. And if you, the viewer, like this video and you want to see more videos that are, outside of the norm, and you just maybe want to support the content that we already do, check the link down below. It helps us a lot. It's obviously not required, but it is really appreciated in these trying YouTube times. Thank you for watching the video. Happy holidays. See you next time.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.